you all this day of your time as you create time to exist. How are you all this day of your time? We once again thank you for the co-creation of this interaction, which we will entitle Redefining Dogma. Now, the idea that we have perceived going on in your society at this time is that there are the creation of what you may call many factions of belief systems with regard to your relationship to creation itself. In what you call your typical format expression of this relationship, you use the word religion to explain and express your relationship to creation. Now, in what you call your New Age awareness, what, if we may have a little bit of fun with the term, may re-term the Neo-Geo awareness upon your planet, you are now beginning to understand different ways, different methodologies of expressing your relationship to creation, rather than through what you may term the ritualistic or dogmatic expressions termed religion. Now, first allow us to underline very importantly, we are in no way, shape, or form invalidating anyone's chosen methodology of relating to creation. All tools are valid, as we have said many times and will always say. If you find that what you call your particular religious aspects are what works for you in expressing your relation to creation, then by all means utilize them until you find for yourself in your own good time that they no longer suffice. But you may also find that in your desire to redefine what you are coming out of, what you are used to hearing of in terms of religious expression, in terms of redefining it in what you may call a more metaphysical understanding, a New Age understanding, there may be some difficulty using the correct terminology, or terminology, we shall say, that feels correct to you, that feels appropriate, that feels like it has the same impact to the terminology that you were brought up to understand. So we will endeavor to be of assistance this day of your time in creating an example and a suggestion for how some of the older terminologies can be transformed and redefined into newer terminologies that, as you say, fit the bill. Now, we will utilize one particular example simply because it is probably the most familiar example to your particular culture at this time in general. In no way, shape, or form, by using the following example, do we mean to call out any one particular religious persuasion as being any more correct than any other. We simply use it because it is a matter of common knowledge to you all. Now, you will find that because there is a high degree of redefining going on in your society at this time, because you are beginning to look at things in a different way, a new way, you will find that there is a great deal of polarization taking place between the individuals on your planet that are willing to redefine and the individuals on your planet that want to, in your terms, stick to the old terminology. So there is a great degree of focus going on that sometimes we have observed create some friction between the different factions that you create yourselves to be. One group may insist that another group should be looking at the idea this way. Another group should insist that the former group be looking at it that way. Each group thinking they are correct, they are more right than the other group. Now, the idea more often than not that we have observed being expressed in your society usually deals with what you call your Christianity, your Christ consciousness awareness. You will generally find that the phrase that certain individuals will more often than not utilize to determine your particular alignment to creation will be the following phrase. Most of you have, in all likelihood, heard the phrase many times. It usually goes as follows, quote, "Do you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior?" unquote. Now, all well and good, but it leaves wide room for interpretation in many different ways. Before we supply what to us would be perceived as a redefinition of that statement, let us first refresh everyone's memory as to some definitions about what the elements in that particular statement mean, at least from our point of view. we have talked off and on about the idea of what you have termed the Christ consciousness as being, from our point of view, the collective consciousness of your entire planet, what could be called the world soul, the world spirit. In other words, the Christ consciousness, or what some individuals may call the Buddha nature or any other name, is the compilation of all the individual consciousnesses upon your world. Every world, every dimension, every civilization has its own group consciousness, which would be its own world spirit. In our ancient language, as we have said, we have called ours Shakana. You call yours Christ consciousness and a variety of other names. Now that Christ consciousness, that world spirit, knows itself, because it is conscious as a singular individual, as a singular entity, knows itself as a single entity, but also knows itself as the combination of all the entities, you, that make it up. But you see, to the Christ consciousness, it always must be both. It must be both polarities. It is never an issue of, is it this way or that way? Which is the real way that it is? Is the Christ consciousness one entity, or is it the combination of all of us? It is both. It always must be both. For anything that you can perceive in the format of a polarity lets you know, right then and there, because you can perceive it as a polarity, that both sides must somewhere at the center blend and be both equally true and equally valid. So first and foremost, we would, shall we say, replace the idea of the term Jesus Christ with the term world spirit, for to us that is what it is. In interacting with your society, we do find that it is necessary. Now, I'm going to put this extremely colloquially. It doesn't necessarily mean that the way I say this is the way you are used to thinking of these terms. But our civilization, because it comes from another realm, another dimension, actively seeks permission from your world spirit to interact with its individualized components, so that we ensure that we are acting in the most integrated possible way to assist you in your true endeavors, your true desires, rather than, as you say, stepping on any toes or spilling any beans or unwrapping any presents before they need to be unwrapped. So we always, as you say, double check with the world spirit to align with the pace, align with the pulse and the synchronicity that takes place within that world soul before we interact with the components of that civilization. Therefore, we may now continue with the idea of redefining the terms Lord and Savior. Now, in your society, because of the way you have interacted socially, politically, for many thousands of years, the term being used to represent the Christ consciousness, Lord, in a sense, is accurate. However, again, it has many connotations which do not necessarily act as a pure representation of what the idea of the world spirit is. Remember that from our point of view, the idea of the Creator does not really rule, per se, in the way you're used to thinking of that term, over its components. It doesn't need to. If a Creator created free will, it is a contradiction in terms to all of a sudden want to control the idea of the components that have free will. The idea of being a Lord, in a sense, as far as we are concerned, is simply a representation of the magnitude of its involvement with you and your involvement with it. In other words, it sets down the general themes, the general patterns, the general atmosphere in which you exist as a society. But it does not rule, it does not judge as a lord, as a king, as a ruler would in what you call your physiological political system. It simply presides, shall we say observes, shall we say gives birth to the overall pattern, the overall atmosphere in which all the probable realities you can experience physically are manifest from. It determines the overall laws of the vibrational reality in which you reside. But it is a benign, a rather passive determination, a rather passive structure. The structure is simply placed within that reality, and all the individualized components make use of that structure in whatever way, shape, or form they so desire with their own individual free will. So, since each and every individual within the world spirit is a component, an extension of that world spirit, it can be said that the world spirit is an oversoul to the entire world in that sense. Therefore, you could say that the term Lord could be replaced with the idea of the word oversoul, which simply means that you are deriving your pattern, you are deriving your cues for the smooth operation of your reality from the oversoul of which you are a part, from which you are extended. Savior, once again, has to do with the separation you have created within yourself from your connection to the infinite. It has a lot to do with the idea that you have created guilt, frustration, separation, judgment, and invalidation upon yourself, so that you think you need saving from some abysmal pit into which you have been flung. But the idea, now that you are recognizing this in your New Age awareness, is that you have always been in control. As we have said many times, it is simply that you have forgotten that you are an aspect of the infinite, forgotten that you're always in control, forgotten that you are the individual creators of your own reality and the combined creators of your mass consciousness. The idea that you need saving implies that you are not an aspect of the infinite and do not contain internal self-empowerment, which you do. So you do not really need saving, but perhaps because of the state that you have created for yourselves, now and then you might need a little guidance. And so, instead of the idea of looking to what you may call the Christ consciousness as a savior, perhaps you can look to the Christ consciousness as a guide, as a mirror, as a reflection, as that which gives you the vibration to key off of, to find that you can be aligned with that vibration and have everything in your life run smoothly by synchronizing with that particular frequency. The idea that you so-called surrender up to the idea of God or the Christ consciousness in no way, shape, or form means that you are giving up responsibility for your creation. It means that you're actually taking full responsibility. It is simply that your society is so used to experiencing control by experiencing resistance that when you finally actually have true control with no resistance at all, you don't think you're doing anything. You think you've given it up. You think something else is running your life now because it is absolutely effortless. When you surrender, what you're doing is taking back full responsibility for your creations in life, for the creation of your total reality, and full responsibility for being a co-creator, as you were made in the image of God, as you say, a co-creator with creation. When you do that, and when you align and synchronize with the flow, with the guidance that is always radiated to you, then your life is effortless, and it doesn't feel, in that sense, like you're actually controlling anything, but you are. So the idea, once again, of someone coming up to you now and saying, do you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, can to some degree be replied in the following way: I accept the world spirit as my oversoul and my guide. It is the same thing. The idea, however, of saying it that way removes the judgment, removes the invalidation, removes the disconnectedness and the separation that you have created from the idea of creation itself, and puts it squarely back on an equal term within you, so that you can go through your life consciously, knowing that the world spirit, in a sense, watches over you, but at the same time, you play just as important a part in sustaining and supporting the existence of the world spirit by being as fully realized a being, by being as fully realized a component as you can be, by taking back full responsibility for your lives and exercising full conscious and effortless control in the creation of the reality you prefer. Use this, if you wish, as an example for how to redefine and transform all of what you may call the old world terminology, if that will assist you to see yourself in a clearer light. Simply, that is our sharing with you this day, this evening of your time. Before we begin interaction, allow us to share with you also one more thing, a little bit of a meditation, so you may all close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. This meditation will be for the purpose of creating a little bit more of an alignment with the world spirit, with the oversoul, with the guide that all of you are an aspect of. As each and every one of you now take a leisurely and peaceful breath, allow yourself to remember that breath is life, Life is breath. It is the fundamental vibration, a fundamental signature vibration. Anytime any of you want to know what your signature vibration is, and that means your signature vibration is your unique frequency relationship to creation. Anytime any of you want to know what that is, take a deep breath in and let out a tone, let out a sigh. That is your particular vibration. It does not even have to last very long. All you have to do is feel it. All you have to do is hear it. All you have to do is find that range where you feel most comfortable and you feel your bodily form resonating with warmth, with invigoration, with life, with potential, with promise, with probability. That's all you need to do. And as soon as you do that, in that instant, you are 100% completely aligned. It is that simple. Now, what you do from that instant forward is up to you. You can become disaligned again if you wish, but you do not have to. As soon as you have that signal, as soon as you have that tone, you are aligned. Anytime you find yourself having created a situation where you are, as you say, at odds, where you are perhaps frustrated, where you are perhaps a little anxious, take a moment, take 3 deep breaths, and then on the 4th one, take a big deep breath and let out the tone, let out the sigh of release, the sigh of alignment, the tone of crystallization, and you will be realigned. It is that easy. For never, never, never was it written anywhere, in any text, in any fabric of creation, that it should be deemed in any way, shape, or form difficult for you to realize and fully understand that you are expressions of the Christ consciousness too. It was always made to be the simplest of things to allow you to remember your connection to the infinite. And because it is such a simple thing, that's why it was designed the way it was. Because anytime you've had enough, anytime you've been struggling too much, anytime you've been trying too hard, the only thing you need to do, and the first automatic reaction you have, is to sigh. That's how you get back to center. It is the first and most basic primal release and centering mechanism you have. Use it. We thank you for your willingness to interact at this time. You may open your eyes at your own pace, finding within you that degree and level of comfort that now expresses who and what you are as a realized being and an aspect of the infinite. And at this timing, we extend to each and every one of you once again our deepest appreciation for the co-creation of this interaction in the way that your imagination and our imaginations have deemed it shall be. We thank you for allowing us to experience the gift of your consciousness, and in return, once again, I ask you now, how, in what joyous way for me, may I be of service to you? Sharing.
Good evening, Bashar.
And good day to you.
Thank you for this opportunity. I hope that my question will be of service and of help to others.
Always, 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 always it will. It is not something you have to hope about. You understand?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Speak up and be bold so that all may share your gift.
I need some guidance out of the abysmal abyss that I have flung myself that you talked about.
Abysmal abyss.
Yes.
All right. What is your definition of an abysmal abyss?
Just a little background information.
All right.
8 years ago, I got married, moved to Japan, had a very unhappy marriage, but was able to create a very wonderful life in Japan for myself.
All right.
I moved back to Los Angeles with my then husband and had the idea of opening an art gallery.
All right.
And my husband and I separated, which was a good thing, but it was very painful.
All right.
I then opened the art gallery on a shoestring budget, which was August of 85.
All right.
And when I opened the doors, I was all out of money. And
repeat that.
When I opened the doors of the gallery, I was all out of money.
All right, continue.
Okay. So for 3 years now, I have struggled, broken through all sorts of fear barriers.
Oh, thank you.
So the struggle was very productive.
Oh, all right.
I realize and appreciate the struggle. It's built a very strong base for me. It's made me, it has helped me to feel empowered.
And now you are tired of struggling?
How did you guess?
I think I've had this conversation before.
Yes. But now I've really had it with the struggle.
Oh, really had it? Before you were just faking.
Yeah.
All right. Now you've really had it. May I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. Now, how do you know you're not faking it this time?
Because I've started to fantasize about running away from what I've created and doing something else.
Doing something else?
Yeah.
Is this something else more exciting than what you've created?
No.
Then why are you running to it?
Because I don't want to struggle anymore, and the other seems like it's not a struggle as much.
And what would that other thing be?
Well, the fantasy is that...
Yes.
All right. It's something along the lines of being a special events coordinator at the LA County Museum, for example, or for Occidental, or some company or entity that I would work for, receive a salary, and not be out there on a limb.
Why do you think you are attracted by that particular kind of an expression? What do you think you will learn in that particular type of an endeavor?
Well, it would be a lot of what I'm doing now, except I would be receiving a paycheck and I wouldn't have to struggle.
But what would you be learning?
How to feel supported.
I mean about the particular job. What would you be learning? Would you be learning anything different by doing the job that way than you are learning by having your gallery?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't...
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a
give me
suggestion.
a hint. Thank you.
You would be seeing how other people do it successfully.
Thank you.
Understand?
Yes.
You would be taking your cue from them so you can apply it for yourself if doing the gallery is something that really excites you the most. Perhaps you would be doing the thing that you have not really allowed yourself to do as fully as you could have, which is going to the individuals that are already doing it successfully and finding out how they do it. Understand?
Yes.
By letting it rub off on you, by associating with their mentality, with their vibration, by watching their attitude, by watching their actions and mimicking them, which you haven't yet done. Understand?
You're right.
You have role models all around you. Whenever you want to do something very exciting, look at the individuals that are already doing it and copy them, mimic them in your own way. Then you will have the same results that they do. So what you have now done, as far as we perceive it, is cleverly giving yourself an opportunity to spend some time being surrounded by them so that some of them will rub off on your vibration. So that then you will arrive at a point where you will finally say, aha! Now I understand what it is I needed to do. My whole attitude was not the attitude of being a gallery owner, an excited gallery owner. Now I understand what it is to be that because I've seen it. I've been surrounded by it. Now I know that I can be a successful gallery owner because I've allowed myself to create a role model that I can pattern myself after. You understand?
Yes.
So it is up to you. You can use that as a tool if you want for now. But just remember that if doing the gallery is what really excites you the most, then what you're actually doing now is simply doing what you may call your homework, to find out who you really need to be and in what way you really need to act to be able to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that being a gallery owner is who you really are, which you're not really sure of right now. Understand? It can get you back on track if you want to do it that way. You follow me?
Yes. I mean, there's another part to that.
Oh, all right. What is the other part?
Okay. The other part is that a year ago I mimicked the other gallery owners, and I moved to a much bigger space. I really put myself out in the line. I put a business plan together. I got investors. I have created a wonderful big space.
Yeah.
On North La Brea.
Yeah.
And it has grown, and it's successful. But I'm still struggling.
Will you repeat the first thing you said when you began the other part? I mimicked the other gallery owners. I got a big space.
Right.
I, what? Put myself on the line.
Right.
Why do you think that you had to think that you were at risk?
Because I was still doing it on a shoestring.
Then you did not mimic the other gallery owners. Because they do not go into it with the idea that there is a risk, that they're putting themselves on the line. They do it because that's who they are. They don't give a second thought to the idea of what you call risk. That does not exist for them in their mind. If you carried with you the idea into that endeavor that you were putting yourself out, that you were doing something that was risky, then you were not acting like the gallery owner you want to be. You still had a belief system that what you were doing is not truly who you are. Because if you knew you were doing what you truly are all about, risk does not enter the equation. It doesn't even occur to you. You understand?
Right.
Does that help you?
No.
Why not?
Well,
what?
At each expansion stage,
yes.
Okay, I felt like I had put myself out on a limb, and then I grew into that.
Yes. Well, that's one
position.
way to do it.
Okay.
You can do it that way,
well,
but feeling that you're doing it that way is what makes it take so long. Understand that you are not at risk. Do you not understand that if you are doing the thing that is truly representative of who you are, then you naturally fit within the support system of the universe? You understand what we are saying?
I understand what you're saying.
Are you sure you understand what we are saying?
I understand what you're saying, but...
What?
It goes in spurts and starts, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes,
I'm
of course it
supported.
does.
I feel like I'm supported to a certain degree, and all of a sudden, nothing.
Do you need the threshold of believability test?
What does that mean?
It means that if you have a particular image of yourself as you would really like to be as compared to who you are now, you sit down in a meditative state and you ask yourself with absolute honesty, absolute razor-sharp, laser-clear honesty, how long do I really believe it's going to take to be that person? Give yourself the benefit of the doubt by starting with a time you know is more than enough time to be that person. Do I believe I can be that person in 20 years? No problem. That's more than enough time. Do I believe I can be that person in 10 years? Absolutely. Do I believe I can be that person in 5 years? Well, maybe. As soon as you find yourself hesitating, that is how long it will take to be that person. Find out why you would believe it would need to take that long. In your meditation, ask yourself what definitions you have bought into that would make it take that long. Then redefine them if you don't prefer those definitions. As soon as you redefine them, take the test over again. Ask yourself now, with the new definitions in place, do I now know it would not need to take 5 years? Absolutely. That will be, as you say, a piece of cake. With the new definitions in place, can I allow it to happen in 4 years? Yes, no problem. 3 years? Absolutely. 2 years? Well, maybe. Start over again. Let yourself understand that at every stage you arrive at, you are given an opportunity to examine more beliefs that you may be carrying with you in an unconscious state. You can change them, you can redefine them, but take advantage of them, and they don't have to take so very long to allow the next phase to start up. It is only because you allow yourself to become set back, depressed by the fact that you arrive at another stage, another level, and have to go through that process again, that you make it take longer than it has to, simply because you are invalidating the process itself. You, as individuals, as a society, have spent so many thousands upon thousands of years separating yourselves from creation and creating so many different points of view and belief systems that it simply takes a little bit of time for you to review all the various hundreds of belief systems, sometimes contradictory belief systems, that you have within your consciousness, because of the very fact that you have created an unconscious self which doesn't need to exist. You spend time examining and delving through and exploring that unconscious self. But realize, you're still doing all this exploration in one lifetime, even though you spent many hundreds of lifetimes creating the separation and the different belief systems to begin with. So you're actually proceeding quite rapidly. Do not invalidate yourself. Do not allow yourself to feel tired in that sense. The only reason you would feel tired is because you're fighting your own natural, self-chosen process. Let yourself understand that all you have to do every time you arrive at that stage of review is to use it in a meditative state and not say, oh, I thought I was doing what I needed to do. You were doing what you needed to do. Do not belittle yourself. Do not belittle the process. Do not be frustrated and stamp your feet and have a tantrum. The idea is to allow yourself to say, I have arrived at a new step. Oh, joy, that means that I am now about to break through to a new belief system, that I can now go on to a higher level, and I can do this in a very accelerated way. When you approach the process that way, you will have the support and the abundance you need to take you through the process. Are you following along?
Yes.
Is this being of assistance to you?
Yes.
So relax, lighten up, all right?
Okay. One last part of the question, please. Okay, so in my mind, I gave myself 3 years. I thought it would take 3 years to build my business where I would be, where I would feel really confident.
One moment, stop.
Okay.
You do not have to set an invalidational structure in that way. In my mind, I gave myself 3 years. If I take 3 years and 1 second, I'm a failure. What you can say, and this is why we talked about the threshold of believability, allow yourself whatever the appropriate timing actually is. And if you feel you desire to take less time, go through the threshold of believability and see if you will allow that. If you don't, then trust this. The amount of time you find yourself leveling out at is truly, in every way, shape, and form, right now, the amount of time you really do want it to take, because there are things you're going to discover in that amount of time that you don't know about yet, that you are going to need by the time you get to the time where it will manifest. And you will have appreciated knowing those things when you get there. Because if you get there without knowing those things, you will not be able to handle the thing you dearly want. Understand? So relax. It doesn't have to take that much time. Does that help you? Are you sure?
Yeah, it helps me, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Can I finish the question?
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry to take so long.
Oh, do not be sorry.
All right. I forgot the question.
Oh, good.
No, okay, so 3 years in business, October the 8th.
Yes.
I'm sorry, August the 8th.
Oh.
Why did I said October 8th?
Well, gee, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
Maybe you were being honest.
No, I opened my doors August the 8th.
Ah. 8888.
Yeah, I opened them 8885.
Yes.
Okay, so, okay, that's 3 years. So I'm ready. Okay, and what I'm ready for is I really want some financial assistance. I want an investor, a big investor.
Oh, I see.
Come into my business.
All right. Well, have you advertised for one?
No.
Why not?
How do you advertise for that? Put it in the paper?
Yes. Do you know of the analogy that occurred with the physical channel regarding that very thing?
No. What?
The physical channel has, in your terminologies, briefed you all on the project that is of excitement to him, yes?
Right.
Well, all the financing was acquired by putting a little tiny ad in the paper.
Which paper?
Your choice. But understand this. It is absolutely representative of what we have always discussed with you. Because you are so busy flurrying around in what you think you ought to be doing, very often you overlook the obvious avenues that are already provided to be able to put out in the world who you are so that other people know you exist so they can respond to you. Understand? So define very precisely and very clearly who you are, what you want, and let the other individual that is the other side of the event find you so that they can serve you even as you serve them. But if you don't advertise it, who's going to know you exist? Understand? Have fun.
Okay. Bashar, what
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Fun.
Thank you.
Shooting!
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I say hello to all of your friends from Las Vegas.
All of my friends from Las Vegas.
Yes.
All right.
They love you very much.
You want me to say hello to
No,
them?
they're saying hello to you.
Thank you.
I want to ask you a question about the dolphins.
All right. The dolphins, yes?
Well, not the dolphins, a dolphin.
A
My
dolphin.
dolphin,
All right.
Auna.
Yes,
Okay. You told me that she was a Maui dolphin.
basically.
Okay. And lately I've been very drawn to go to Florida. And
All right.
did go and
Yes.
swam with the dolphins
Yes.
at Dolphin Plus.
Yes.
And now I'm all excited about going to Australia.
All right. Have a good time.
Thanks a lot, Bashar.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us anything about Monkey Maya? I have a friend of mine that thinks that it's a feminine vortex.
No vortex is exclusively feminine or masculine. In that sense, an individual will pull from the vortex whatever process they are going through most exclusively. You understand?
Okay.
Now, the idea that what you call wild dolphins freely interact with humans in that area is an indication that it is a very relaxed state and can put you squarely in touch with the ability to blend the masculine and the feminine energies to allow you to be more emotive, to be more intuitive, to be more telepathic in that area with them. It is a free zone in that sense that they are willing to take advantage of to have interactions with all of you in. So you can go there and interact with them in that way and allow your wild nature to be reflected by their wild nature so that you may discover many more aspects of yourself than you might otherwise discover by interacting with dolphins in what you call captivity. You understand?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes, but I'd like some more deep information about what's going on with the communication, because so many people are becoming interested now in the dolphin. And me in it.
But you know what is going on. Why should I tell you what you already know? Do you wish to share it with everyone? We have discussed this many times with many individuals about the overall idea of the sharing and the blending that is going on so that the dolphins can teach you how to play. It is one of the things that your individual selves and your civilization needs to remember. Most importantly, how to play.
How can we use this information to share it with everyone more?
Play. Use your imagination and figure out a way to share it with them in a playful way. Where's your imagination gone? Perhaps it's already in Monkey Maya. Maybe you should catch up to it.
That's what it's been feeling like. Yeah.
Then go.
That's what it's been feeling
Play, 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 play. Creatively, understand?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good time.
Thank you.
Say hello for us.
I will.
Sharing.
Please, the next person be ready.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day. One moment. Remember that when we talk about the ideas of using your imagination and playing, we're not talking about acting childish, but childlike. There is a difference. And the idea is not that we are simply discussing attitudinal changes that have nothing at all to do with your day-to-day physiological reality. Attitude is everything. Everything. Because your perspective determines the type of reality you get. Learning to play and exercising your childlike powers will create the entire earth to be, literally, as a playground in which anything can occur at any time, anywhere, anywhen. Continue.
That's a good topic for me, playing.
Oh, all right. Let's play then.
Okay. Bashar, I feel like I spent a lot of my life confused and in a lot of conflict.
Oh, all right. Is that fun for you?
No, it has not been very much fun.
What would you rather be doing?
I would rather not be confused.
I did not ask you what you would rather not be doing. I said, what would you rather be doing?
I would rather be in harmony than be in conflict.
What is your definition of harmony? Do you have a picture that you can describe that goes along with the term harmony?
Harmony is that feeling I get when I just took 3 deep breaths and heard my tone.
Oh,
that felt like harmony.
So you now know one way, one tool that will allow you to create harmony anytime you wish, yes?
Yes.
Do you have any other tools that will do it for you? Here it comes once again. Are you doing in your life the thing that would excite you the most?
I do not believe so, Bashar.
You do not believe so. All right,
that
why
was
not?
one of my questions.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
Because I'm confused.
About what? What it is that excites you?
Yes.
Oh, all right, but remember that when we talk about the idea of doing what excites you, you don't necessarily have to have a career in mind. You can simply do at any given moment with integrity the thing that excites you the most at that moment that you're capable of doing something about. And that will be sufficient to take it a step at a time. You understand?
Yes, I understand that. Now, the question I had when I came up here is that because of some things that were going on in my life, I think that many times I found myself doing things other than what excited me the most.
Right. Fair enough.
Doing some things that excited me, but that did not have a whole lot of integrity associated with them.
All right, fair enough. Now is the time to blend the two together. Yes?
Now is the time to blend the two together. My question is, I really don't trust myself, and I don't know whether I'm acting with integrity or not sometimes.
Oh, all right. Do you believe that there exists either within you some sort of a mechanism or around you some sort of a guide that will, at some point, even if you've already acted outside of integrity, give you an understanding that you have done so and therefore act as a corrective mechanism?
Yes, but my experience with that force is really limited because I spent a lot of time trying to anesthetize him.
I see. All right. Do you understand that you are self-empowered to create the reality that you desire?
Yes.
All right. What specifically is it about yourself you do not trust? Oh, one moment. Let me rephrase that in the way that I would actually say that naturally. What is it about yourself that is not preferable that you trust more than what is preferable? Because it is always a matter of trust. You are never not trusting. Doubt is simply trusting in something you don't prefer. So what is it about yourself that you don't prefer that you're willing to trust more than what it is about yourself you do prefer?
Boy, you confused me a little there.
Listen with your energy and you will understand completely what I am saying. Trust is always occurring. You are never not trusting. If you stopped trusting in something, you would not have an experiential reality at all, positive or negative. It's always a matter of trust. What you call doubt is not an issue of lack of trust. It is a complete trust in something you don't prefer. So, why would you choose to trust in something you don't prefer as opposed to using the same trust in something you do prefer? Because it is never an issue that you are not trusting. You are never not trusting in something. Understand?
Yes, I understand.
Why would you pick something you don't prefer to trust in as opposed to something you do prefer? That's the question.
Because I think that I received a lot of messages for my whole life about certain things that I was supposed to achieve or supposed to do.
All right. But have you heard us talk about the idea of what a habit is?
No.
The idea is that, generally speaking, by definition, a habit is something that you do that you don't know you're doing. Once you know you're doing it, you don't really have the habit anymore. You have to be beyond it, out of it, in order to know you had it. So for you to say, my willingness to choose something I don't prefer is the product of something that I was taught a long time ago. If you know that it is the product of something you were taught a long time ago, then the thing you were taught a long time ago no longer has any power over what you choose to do now, because you know that's what it was from. The question is, who do you want to be now that you know who you don't want to be? Understand?
Yes, I understand.
So, now that you are willing to admit that perhaps the things that you used to be taught gave rise to the things that you don't want to do, what is it you do want to do? Knowing the following things. That now that you know you don't want to do this, knowing what you do want to do is sufficient to replace what you don't want to do. And if what you don't prefer happens again, you chose to believe for your own reasons that it should. And if you say that it happens again because of something you were taught, you yourself are choosing to believe that that's a natural result. Therefore, you are using it as an excuse when you say you don't want to. Understand?
Yes, I understand.
So, what do you want to be?
You know, I have to say I'm not sure.
Yes, you are. What do you want to be? All right, one moment. I'll use the facility you seem more comfortable with. What do you not want to be? Maybe we can do this by process of elimination and see what's left.
Okay, maybe we can. Maybe we can.
What do you not want to be? What do you not prefer?
I'll tell you.
Thank you. See how easy this is?
This is much easier for
All
me.
right.
2 years ago, I went back to school.
Yes.
I went into law school.
Yes.
And I'm about 2/3 of the way through it now.
All right.
I do not want to be a lawyer.
All right. Thank you very much. Your objection is sustained. What else do you not want to be? Or will that suffice as an overall example?
Well, that's kind of example number one now, since I'm in the middle of creating that and at the same time realizing that I don't prefer that.
All right. Now, I cannot and will not tell you what to do. However, I would strongly suggest that since you now know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you don't want to be a lawyer, that you stop trying to be one. And do something else.
Okay, well...
Is there anything else you do not want to be?
There's nothing I could really put my finger on that I do not want to be.
Well, then now that you have labeled and named the primary symbolic thing you don't want to be, now that you are perhaps, maybe, I'm assuming, willing to let that go, willing to see yourself stopping trying being a lawyer, what do you see that could fill the space you are now spending trying to be a lawyer? What would you rather be doing?
Okay, I see two things that can fill that space.
Thank you.
One is something that I used to do, which is to create businesses.
All right. Do you find that enjoyable?
Well...
Without bringing in the experiences you have had, do you find the idea exciting?
Yes.
Thank you. What is the second thing?
The second thing is writing.
All right. Now, do you really prefer in any way, shape, or form to attach qualifications on either of these things that would make them appear less desirable than you want them to be?
Would you run that by me again?
All right. Do you want to find excuses to not do them?
No.
Then don't. Do not attach any negative definitions to those particular endeavors. No matter what experiences you have had, no matter what experiences you think you have to have, do not attach a definition to what you know excites you that you don't prefer to attach. Understand?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes, that helps me.
And,
okay, one short thing is
all right.
Over this, a lot of different things have happened to me over the last few years.
Yes.
And sometimes I change a lot in a very short period of time.
All right.
And I would, if I knew that I was going to feel the same consistently for at least some period of time, I would feel much more comfortable doing what you say.
All right, well, that's easy. Would you like to know how to do it?
Yes.
Choose to feel that way consistently. It is a choice how you feel, you know, because how you feel is a reaction to what you believe.
Yes, but for 2 years, because I felt the initial excitement,
yes.
For 2 years I chose to feel very excited about my new career, about going to school. Why did you choose
to stop feeling excited?
I didn't choose to stop feeling excited. I think all of a sudden I got into situations where I looked at the situation and I said, you know, I really don't like this.
All right, but that's a choice. The idea is to understand that many times you will attract yourself into a specific endeavor with excitement, but you don't have to take into that endeavor the idea that you must take it to fruition in the way your society logically thinks you must. Many times you will get out of that what you need to take the next step, even if the next step is in what appears to be a completely contradictory direction. If the next step is what excites you as much as the excitement you had going into the first endeavor, then it is not contradictory, and the excitement is what lets you know that what you're experiencing is literally a continuation of the first step, even if on the surface it seems to be a 180-degree polarized endeavor. It doesn't matter. It's the excitement that lets you know you're on track, not the surface apparency. You follow me?
Absolutely.
Follow the excitement. That is always what rings true for you. Does that help?
That helps a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this exciting discussion. Court adjourned. Shooting!
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
By trade, I'm a psychic.
One moment.
Yes.
Do you wish to read the next few names? Not you.
Do you want to read the next few names? No. We're okay.
All right.
Okay.
Continue.
Thank you. By trade, I'm a psychic.
By trade, a psychic. All right.
And during one of my sessions, I happened upon your energy one day.
All right.
And shared...
Strolling through the park one day.
One day I found
All
Bashar.
right.
Exactly. I shared that part of myself and you with my client And it was very exciting to both of us.
All right. Now, remember one thing.
Yes.
Anytime any of you tap into our energy, you are tapping into the energy of my mainstream society.
Okay.
Continue.
All right. My question is
Yes.
that I felt I needed to ask you through Daryl because I consider him the finest channel I have ever seen.
All right,
and
all right.
I've seen many. Whether or not I should continue in this vein with you doing this or go on my merry way.
You are more, in every way, shape, and form, more than, shall we say, allowed to tap into our energy stream anytime you wish. You are more than welcome to funnel your aspect of our vibration through you, your version of our vibration through you. If you feel so inclined, if that is what moves you, if that is what excites you, you always have our permission. If, however, you feel that you are more excited doing it another way, then you have our permission to do that. But you do not need our permission to do that. You are, shall we say, I'll put it this way, you are rational and cautious enough to be able to know that you will take care in making sure that the information that comes through you will always be put to the best benefit in a positive way. Of this we have no qualms. So it is up to you. As far as we are concerned, we would always be honored. But it is up to you. Understand?
I do. Thank you
Does that
very
help
much.
you?
It does very much. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. By the way, back up. Don't be in such a hurry. There is also, one moment, a feminine energy in our society that is willing to work more directly with you, and 2 or 3 children that think that they would have some fun as well working with you. All right?
Thank you very much, Bashar.
Oh, thank you very much. Sharing. Oh, pleasant dreams, by the way. Yes?
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm Jeffrey.
Yes?
I'm
Hello, Jeffrey.
I'm studying alternative energy technologies,
Yes.
so-called free energy.
Free energy, yes.
I had a question to you regarding gravity.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Galileo, several hundred years ago, made a statement that is the cornerstone of physics right now.
Cornerstone.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's off in the corner over there. So, he said falling
Yes,
No,
I see it. Falling bodies.
falling bodies accelerate at the same rate. Now, that's the cornerstone of physics. Do you think that that's accurate or inaccurate? Or?
It will depend, of course, upon the medium they are in. You are talking, quote-unquote, in a vacuum.
How about in a vacuum? Yeah, okay.
In what you may call, loosely, 97% of the circumstances in your universal reality that would to some degree be so. However, there is always a loophole, always a doorway from one dimension to another in any universe. And in certain cases, you will find what you call the exception that proves the rule in your particular universe. There can be manifestations in your universe where that is not so. There is an underlying principle that is misunderstood in many different ways about what you call gravity is. The idea is not so much a force. It is not so much the idea of even, quote-unquote, an effect. It is hinged very strongly to the concept of time in a way that your scientists have not understood. Your scientists have difficulty in allowing gravity to fit into what they call their unified field theory because they have not completely understood the full ramifications of gravity's relationship to time. When they understand gravity's relationship to time, they will understand that there is a lot of variation and fluctuation taking place within an event such as two falling bodies that allows the overall effect that is perceivable by your senses to make it appear as if gravity has the same effect on both of them, that they fall at the same rate, but within the event, on what you would term quantum levels, there are a wide range of fluctuations, even fluctuations that are completely the reversal of what you would call gravity. In other words, seen from one level, what you may call the macroscopic level, it would appear as if they fall at the same rate. But on what you would call a microscopic level, to the extreme, they do not.
Do you think that, say, a carbon ball and a lead ball would fall at the same rate?
Again, it depends upon the level to which you take the measurement. You will find generally that in a certain degree of your macroscopic universe, they will. But taken from the point of view of measuring from certain other quantized perspectives, they will not.
So what would be the principal factor determining a different rate of acceleration?
The relativity of time, the different reference systems that are occurring from one perspective to another. When you unlock the understanding that you are playing a consensus game, a consensus reality, that the rules you see are only rules because you generally agree that they should be, then you will understand that what you are seeing is not actually representative of a true structure of creation, but only an arbitrary manifestation of your consensus reality relative to time and space. They do not have to fall at the same rate at all. But generally speaking, you perceive that they do because of what you think of time and space as being.
So what you're saying is normally if I took a test and I dropped a lead ball and a carbon ball, for instance,
yes,
just picking two things, from an elevation, you think that they would hit at the same time?
That is generally how you would perceive it, yes. However, if you were willing to become a little bit, well, what your society calls insane, that is not necessarily how you would perceive it, no.
Well, we have made a test from a 2,000-foot elevation, and they drop it at a significantly different rate of acceleration.
Yes. Then perhaps you are getting a little more insane. You see, the idea simply is that what you are calling the paradigms of science will change over time. Even as many of the things that what you call your Galileo and your Isaac Newton held to be true are now considered to be the sheerest fantasy by your modern-day scientists. You will discover, again, that the idea of falling objects has nothing at all to do with the principles you think it does, has nothing at all to do with what you typically call falling objects. You do not even understand what the idea of motion is yet in your society. Once you begin to unlock that, you will understand that if you see two objects hit the ground at the same time, it is because you are putting that particular arbitrary consensus upon it that it should.
What do you think is the unifying equation? Do you think E equals mc squared is valid?
In a sense.
What do you mean in a sense?
Well, in a sense that it describes one particular framework. It is true that what you call matter and energy are manifestations of the same one thing.
Then what does c squared have to do with it?
It implies, in your terms of mathematics, the amount of equivalent energy in a particular particle of matter. But the idea to understand is that the true unifying principle is consciousness itself. Consciousness.
How would you define gravity? Okay.
If you wish, I'll be brief. Gravity is an effect of the intersection of your consciousness with a particular frame of reference you have created, the particular definitions you have created of space and time. It is an effect. It doesn't empirically exist at all. It is an effect, a side effect of your definition of physical reality. It is, let's say, a timing sequence effect. Understand what time is. It is the effect of a focused consciousness. Without the focus of consciousness, it doesn't exist. Neither would gravity, neither would space. It is, in a sense, an attraction that is representative to some degree of the structure itself, as your Einstein put it, the geometry, the structure itself of what you call your particular universal reality. But structure implies intention, and intention implies consciousness. So gravity is nothing more than an effect of the random patterns of consciousness that you use to create your universal reality. Understand?
I understand what you said. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much. Let us put it very simply this way. You have gravity because you desire to operate within a particular frame of reference wherein all of your tools remain in relation to each other. Gravity itself is the effect of your desire to have relationships between different physiological vibrational objects. Thank you. Thank you. Sure.
Much love to you, Bashar.
And good day to you. One moment. We are involved right now with the channel through the format you would call automatic writing to explain in much greater detail the workings of gravity, time, and space. When that work is completed, it will in that sense be published, and if you are aware of the goings-on of the channeling, you will be made aware of when the more detailed version of that explanation will be available to you. Continue.
Thank you. I would like to discuss...
Speak up so that all may share. Be bold.
I would like to share the idea, or discuss the idea of communication.
Communication, all right.
I would like your definition of that, please.
Communication.
Yes.
Communication is a reflection of a vibration and an assessment of a preference to align or not align with that vibration. To realize the self in an accelerated way. Does that help?
Yes, that's what I'm not really doing.
All right. Why not? Will you do me a favor?
Yes.
Say the word communication.
Communication.
Now will you do me another favor?
Yes.
Say it this way. Communication.
Communication.
Now this way. Communication.
Communication.
All right. Go ah.
Ah.
No. Ah.
Ah.
Feel it in here. Ah.
Ah.
Oh, thank you very much. Now, how did that feel when you went ah? A little more open?
Yes.
And how does it feel when you say communication?
It feels like it normally does, that I am not letting myself out.
No, all right. Then say communication.
Communication.
All right. One more time. Communication.
Communication.
Communication. Well?
Communication.
Oh, all right. What is it you wish to communicate? And to whom do you wish to communicate it? Don't know?
Yes.
What? Do you have a fear?
I figured that must be what is at the base of communication. I can communicate with people on a superficial level.
No, all right.
But when I want to communicate what I want, what I need, what I expect,
yes,
with integrity,
yes,
it takes me hours or days to get it out.
Oh, well, I can teach you an idea that will allow you to get it out in approximately 1 second. Would you like to do that?
Yes.
Are you sure you would like to do
yes.
that? All right, 1 moment. Let us make an adjustment. Approach the physical channel. Now, in no way, shape, or form do we mean to imply this in a subservient way, but would you please go down on your knees? All right. Touch channel hand.
With left hand, right hand?
Left. Touch with right. Touch with left. Touch with right. Take your hand, put them on your heart. How do you feel?
A little lighter.
A little lighter.
Yes.
All right. Open arms, wide, wide, wide. How do you feel?
Lighter.
Bow head down. Let neck stretch, 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 stretch. Slow. Put head up. Put head back, 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 back. Slow. Put head right, 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 right. Slow. Far as you can. Left, left, left. Slow. Far as you can. Deep breath in. Sigh out, out, out. Deep breath in. Sigh out, out, out. Deep breath in. Hold it. Sit. Sigh out, out, out. Right hand. Pound. 1, 2, 3. Lightly.
Sorry, I didn't see.
Pound. 1, 2, 3. Lightly. On chest. Pound. 1, 2, 3. Pound, pound, pound.
It's 3.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
I did 3.
Let me hear it.
Oh. Crystal.
All right. Left hand, 1, 2, 3. Open arms, wide, wide, wide. Breathe in through mouth. Deep breath. Breathe out through nose. Breathe in through mouth. Deep breath. Breathe out through nose. One more time. Stand up. Twist right, keeping your feet planted firm. Twist upper half of body right, 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 slowly, far as you can. Left, 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 slowly, far as you can. Back, forth, back, forth. Let arms dangle loosely. Throw head back, go ha! 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 Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Ha. Bend that waist, keep feet straight, dangle, dangle down. Stand up. Do you like? Oh, you may go back to microphone. Do you like to hug, to touch?
Yes.
Understand that your words, your intention, your meaning, many times taken much more quickly by individuals when you place a gentle hand on shoulder, a gentle hand on heart, a gentle hand on neck.
Yes.
Understand?
Yes, I do.
Communication flows electromagnetically, more superconductivity. Your intention, your meaning will get across. You do not need as many words as you think. Understand?
Yes.
How do you feel?
Freer.
Thank you very much.
No.
Pleasant dreams, and thank you for
you.
opening the doorways that you have. You will begin to accelerate rapidly now.
I know. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. Very. Always thank you for applauding yourself.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
My name is Anik, and I'm from Brussels.
All right.
Yesterday, Torah and Sean
Yes.
helped me to release an entity by the name of John, who had been
Speak up so that all may hear.
my husband in many lifetimes,
All right.
and did not want me to come into this life without him. So he may have tried to strangle me at birth, causing pain in my throat and my neck and my whole right side that always feels much colder than the other side and with less energy.
All right.
I also
Half
had
in, half out of what you call physical and non-physical reality. You are, in a sense, straddling the line between physical life and non-physical life. It is our suggestion that one thing that can help you greatly is to understand you will always remain attached to the level of non-physical spirituality that you need to, but we would suggest that you do something very strongly physiological that you enjoy to ground yourself in that way and to create an electromagnetic flow through you that will not cause what you call the paralysis, the numbing effect of the cold. You follow me? You follow me? Yes, no, maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. You are straddling the line between physical life and non-physical reality. In other words, your focus is half in physical life and half in non-physical reality. You follow me so far?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Your consciousness in that sense is split. You are, in a sense, shall we say, now I do not mean this derogatorily, please do not take it that way, but you are dwelling on aspects metaphysically that you do not necessarily need to dwell on so heavily. You are separating yourself. You are cutting yourself in half. You are allowing your power, a portion of your power, to come from a disassociated place and time, the idea of another time. All your power is here now. The only reason it would seem not to be is that you have chosen to believe that it is not. You are splitting yourself in half by fixating and focusing on the idea to some degree, a little bit heavily, of the other lifetime. It isn't that we are not saying that other lifetime recognition does not serve you, but understand, those other lifetimes and the experiences in them do not in any way, shape, or form control you. You are one electromagnetic flow. Let's use the feeling of cold to create a superconductivity within you. Are you willing to do a little bit of a meditation right now?
Yes.
All right, close your eyes as you stand. Take a deep breath. And in your imagination, imagine the following thing. Imagine right now that you are surrounded, your body is surrounded by a crystalline, transparent blue sphere of brilliant electromagnetic blue-white light. Do you see it?
Yes.
All right. Feel the vibration of that energy. Feel that the sphere is full of energy, that it is interpenetrating every single cell of your body. Feel the coolness, the swiftness, the flow of electricity and electrons and electromagnetism going from head down to toe and up from toe to head, back and forth, up and down. Feel a white light pulsing through you, up and down, and in counterposition, in conjunction with the coolness in the sphere, feel that the pulse going through you is more of a white light, a white hot light. Allow the white ring, the white sphere that goes through you from head to toe and back again like a yo-yo to feel very warm and to warm you up, to center you and balance you, and to clarify all systems and structures within your body. Are you feeling it going up and down, up and down? Are you feeling it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel a little bit warmer?
Yes.
Do you like the warmth?
Yes.
Allow yourself to get to the level of warmth that you feel is comfortable, and then as soon as you find it is at a comfortable level, then maintain that particular frequency of the white light going up and down. Do not let it go any faster than that. Just allow it to pulse at that rate. Generally speaking, you may find that it is synchronized to what you would call your heartbeat. Do you find that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then just sit with that for a moment. Just float with that for a moment. Keep your eyes closed. Imagine the blue sphere around you, the white light pulsing through you from head to toe at the beat of your heart. Hear the sound of your heart as the white light goes up and down. Feel it for a moment. Now, take in one large, deep breath, and as you do so, imagine the entire structure collapsing to go within you, to fit you like a second skin. And as you breathe out, understand that that second skin, that energy is now locked to you. It is your thermostatic control. It is your ability to regulate your environment through your thoughts, through your desires, through your preferences. It is a tool. It is there. Use it. And allow yourself to let it focus you in the present. Feel grounded. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel that your spirituality is intact, but also your physicality, your vibrancy, your earthiness. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? How do you feel?
Good.
Do not think about it. How do you feel? Do you have an answer?
No. No. I feel...
Yes? How do you feel?
Warm.
All right. Do you feel like crying?
No.
All right. Do you feel like laughing?
Yes.
All right, then do so. One relief is as good as another. Now, choosing the laughter shows that there is nothing negative in that sense to release. That you knew what you were doing when you made contracts and agreements with other individuals, and that the actions of those other individuals in the past have spurred you to your present understanding of self, and therefore fulfilled a positive function. Let it go. It has served you. You are standing on your own 2 feet. You're your own individual. There is nothing blocking you. You are clear. So laugh and be merry and be happy. You have the ability to live the life you want, regardless of anything else that has ever occurred. You understand?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes. Thank you.
Pleasant dreams to you.
Thank you.
One moment. One little suggestion for you tonight when you are about to go to sleep. Imagine this. Your feminine side, your masculine side. See them blend together into one being, and then see that one being holding in its arms a baby, a child, which is also you. Rock the child, nurture the child, comfort the child, and unconditionally, warmly, and happily love the child, and let the child feel that happiness and that warmth from you. Then go to sleep and see how you feel in the morning. All right?
All right.
3 nights in a row. 1, 2, 3. And that will be sufficient. You will have a whole new childhood all over again. All right?
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sharing.
Hello, Bashar.
To you, good day.
I would like to know if there are any specific past lives.
Speak up, speak up, speak up.
I would like to know if there is a specific past life that my daughter and I had, my daughter Trina, that has made this life a rocky one, and what way I could make this life more compatible.
It is our perception in this particular case that there was a life wherein and I will not say who played what part, but one individual was expected by the other individual to be able to do a certain thing, and in not being able to do that certain thing, the other individual lost their life. The individual who was expected to be able to do the certain thing truly did not act outside of integrity, truly could not in any way, shape, or form have been expected to save that other individual. However, shall we simply say the belief systems of the individual that lost their life were such that they held it against the first individual, not getting to them in time, not reaching them in time, allowing them in that sense to perish. That instilled a type of momentum, a type of lack of trust. However, it is understood that you are inseparable in that way, that you have had many lifetimes together. That particular aspect does not necessarily play as big a role as you might think, even though it was brought in our perception into this life. There are some other aspects, most of which are for the purpose of allowing you to break through this particular kind of a barrier. Ceasing to think that you must be responsible for other people's reality. You follow me so far?
Yes.
For you can only be responsible to other individuals. You cannot be responsible for them. and constantly berating yourself for feeling that you should be responsible for what happens to another individual will only immerse you in the same mire, in the same rocky rapids that you were immersed in before, where the scenario was played out that you ought to have been responsible for their life then, which you were not. Understand?
Yes.
Does this help you?
Yes, it does.
One moment. How do you feel right now?
I feel good because I knew this. I felt it. And it's just confirmation.
One moment. May I engage you in a conversation that is primarily out of curiosity for a moment?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. If you were to use your imagination right now, and you were to suppose, this does not mean it has to be this way, if you were to suppose that you would have another life after this one, what do you think you would like to do? What do you think you would like to be? Use your imagination.
A pilot of a spaceship.
Thank you. That's where I know you from. Thank you for fulfilling my curiosity.
Thank you, Bashar.
At this timing, you may all enjoy a short break. We will resume contact in approximately 10 to 15 of your minutes. How's it going?
I think we forgot to mention that we need quiet when Daryl is going into the altered state and coming out. We forgot to mention that. But thank you for your cooperation. You got it pretty quick. And also, again, later at the end. Refreshments are out here. Please have a 10-15 minute break. When I call you, please come back because we can't get started till everybody's seated and quiet.
Continue. Shooting.
Hello, Bashar.
And good day to you.
The bottom line of my question
all right,
is basically that I have decided that I just totally wish to surrender to my higher self and just be a pure channel in whichever way I am supposed to be of service to humanity on this planet.
And you know the way that is, yes? By doing what excites you the most.
I understand.
Yes.
I understand that.
Yes?
One of the things that has been coming up is some very strange physiological changes in my body.
Yes? Such as?
Numbness and tingling throughout the whole of my arms, my fingertips, my face, sometimes extending down like into the ovaries. And
all right. Now, sometimes, when you go through energy shifts, you may feel them electromagnetically in that way as you become more highly conductive. We do always suggest, because of the way your society exists, the way your society is structured, that if there is anything happening with your physiological form that you are uncertain of, that you do always first avail yourself of the belief systems that already exist within you. In other words, if you believe in the idea of doctoring, you may wish to find out first whether or not they can perceive any reason for what you are experiencing. If you go through this process feeling that it might or might not be necessary, and then you still find that there is no explanation in terms of what your society can offer you, then usually, more often than not, it is representative simply of the energy changes you are going through. Because many times, when your civilization experiences shifts in its energy level, it will still translate them in physiological terms because you are so very physiologically oriented. And the difference in energy will pass through you, like electricity, through for lack of a better term, a resistor. And because there may still be some resistance within you, due to what you have been taught to believe about change and the nature of change, then you may find that that resistance that occurs may manifest in the way that you call pain or aches or various physiological phenomena such as you are describing. You follow me so far?
Yes, I follow you. One of the things, the only thing that medically, I have been tested medically for everything.
Yes.
And the only thing that was found was a pituitary and thyroid malfunction, a very slight pituitary and thyroid malfunction. And
one moment. What are they describing as a malfunction?
They say that there's what is called a hypothyroid condition, just very slightly, which is created by malfunctioning of the pituitary gland, which was created from too much stress and fear over the past few years.
All right. Have you alleviated to some degree that tension and the stress now?
Yes, I have, but the symptoms still continue, and one of the things that is happening to me is that I'm opening up psychically.
Yes.
To a point that very often I become like a sponge for other people's pains and emotions.
All right.
And
identification is one of the things that may strongly begin to occur in individuals that allow themselves to become far more sensitized than they used to be. However, it is only your definitions, the definitions you are bringing with you from the old self, that allows you to have to feel the identification in a painful way. You do not have to necessarily take on the symptoms in order to identify with them in a more detached sense. What you can begin to learn is a type of attached detachment, a kind of compassion, an overriding, overall compassion that allows you to understand what they are going through without necessarily having to adopt it personally. You follow me?
Yes, I follow you. I'm learning from different people who are healers and psychics how they do that.
Will become clear as glass, clear as crystal, transparent, to the point where the energies that other individuals are emanating can pass through you, leaving the knowledge, but not the symptoms. You understand?
Yes.
Become clear, absolutely non-resistant. The only way, as we have already said, you would actually pick up upon the symptomology itself is because you have resistance within you, or fear within you about what it is you're identifying with in them. No fear, unconditional love and compassion will make you transparent enough to allow those emanations to pass through you harmlessly. You follow me?
Yes, I follow you. Do you perceive that there is any physiological way that I could heal the thyroid and the pituitary condition? Because I believe that it is interlinked with the awakening of the chakras and the psychic sensitivity.
Yes, you can if you wish. Now, if your imagination desires to change when we are about to suggest, let it, because your imagination always knows what it is doing best for you. We would suggest that you think in terms of what we have discussed already this evening to some degree, the idea that the electromagnetic medium in which you are all mentally immersed is usually symbolically represented by blue light. Imagine cool, soothing, flowing smoothly, blue light, blue gel, if you wish, a thick blue gel infusing those areas, filling your cellular structure, allowing them to adjust, to be buffered, to allow them to assimilate to the timing and the tempo of the rest of your body, allowing the rest of your body to assimilate to the timing and tempo that is now being given off by your glandular system. Understand that it is your glandular system that controls the enzymatic and endocrine functions that, biochemically speaking, are linked to psychic functioning, to your connection to higher self. The glandular system is the last sensory physiological level before non-physicalness altogether. So that is why some of them have become a little bit activated, a little bit imbalanced. Rebalance them by homogenizing your entire system, by filling it with a homogeneous blue gel of liquid light, and allowing all your cellular structures to blend and balance in that system by dissolving in that system until you are just the gel itself. Then, with your consciousness, recrystallize your body out of that gel, knowing that at that point, Every single component in your body is far more balanced and perfectly represented and in synchronized harmony with all other components of your body. Do that exercise as many times as you deem is necessary, but it will not really take very long because you will find it will create a superconductivity within you. You may start to feel some other effects. You may feel a little bit dizzy. You may feel like you're spinning a little bit. You may break out in what you call a cold sweat or a hot flash, but that's all right. These are other symptoms that are simply representative of throwing off that energy of letting yourself balance and assimilate the extra charge. You follow me?
Yes, I do. Do you perceive that there would be anything nutritionally that I can do to help this physically?
One moment. Let us pass through another suggestion, and then there may be an opportunity to perceive what you have asked. We would also suggest that you can help balance yourself by allowing a flow of healing electromagnetic energy through your hands towards other individuals by performing physiological healings and balancing them, allowing them to balance themselves. You may also create a balance within yourself if you allow yourself simply to feel the flow, again, in a non-resistive way. You follow me?
Yes.
Set up a current that flows. So it doesn't just come to you and stick, doesn't just go to them and stick, but a current that flows. You follow me?
Do you mean like a hands-on, like
yes, you can do it that way, yes. You follow me?
Yes. My parents were both mediums and channels and healers.
Oh, all right. Then perhaps follow their example in that way. Now, nutritionally. One moment. Perhaps to some degree what you may call vegetables high in water content would be of assistance in clearing you out a little bit right now. You follow me? What you may call the watercress. You follow me?
Yes.
One moment. A few. Well, that will do for now. From us. You will receive more information nutritionally from your own higher self and your own guides, synchronistically. You will run into the information that you need relatively soon.
Okay.
We thank you. Does that serve you?
Yes, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Sharing.
Hello, Bashar.
And you, good day.
I'd like to talk about imagination.
You go right ahead. I'll listen.
I see a lot of pictures in my mind of the way I would like or could see my life going.
Oh, all right.
Okay? I want to understand better what the role is of those images in creating that reality.
I see. All right. Now, I do not mean this in a derogatory way, but it is evident that you did not participate in the recent workshop that we gave. Because the idea specifically hinged upon how to use, in 3 steps, the idea of your imagination in determining what excites you and how to manifest it physiologically. I will repeat those 3 steps briefly. The idea of what you call the workshop format is available to you, and you can peruse the details at your leisure later on. You follow me?
Okay.
Step 1. Identify what it is that does excite you and create the imaginary scenario, as you have already pointed out. See yourself in that scenario, doing the thing that really excites you the most. Step 1. Step 2. Plug all of your emotions and all of your senses into that picture. In other words, feel what it would be like to be that individual. Feel the excitement you would have. Look at the attitude you would have. See, feel, taste, smell, identify with the scenario, with all of your senses and all of your emotions. Plug into it. Step 3. Act it out. Physically, act it out. Create the props, surround yourself with the symbolic representations, set the stage, train yourself, train your physical form into a new bodily habit of dealing with the props that you know you would be dealing with in that reality. The closest approximations of the settings and the props you can create, surround yourself with them, and physiologically act out anything you can in that scenario to the best of your ability to lock it in physiologically and create the feedback habit patterns that will attract that reality to you. Step 1 again, identify what it is that excites you. Step 2, identify with it sensorially and emotionally. Step 3, physically act it out. That's what the pictures are for, to copy them, to use them as a template all the way down the line in mental and emotional and thought pattern format and physiologically, to copy them so that you will get the result that you are seeing in the template in the imagination scenario. You follow me?
Yes.
There are a few more details than that. within the idea of the recent workshop that we gave involving persona reconstruction, excitement, and abundance. You may avail yourself of that if you wish more details. However, I will tell you right now that everything I have just said is sufficient in order to create your imagination to manifest physiologically, if you do those 3 steps, to a full conviction and full excitement and full involvement. It can be that easy. If you don't find that it's that easy, then maybe you need a few more details, but I will leave that up to you. Does that answer your question sufficiently?
No, let me approach this another way.
All right, go right ahead.
See, in my experience, sometimes those images I have end up manifesting almost exactly the way I see them, and sometimes they don't.
Correct. There will many times be a difference in your energy regarding any one of those particular images as well. Will there not be?
How do you mean that?
In other words, sometimes you simply look at an image and you know that's who you are, and other times you are more ambiguous about it.
Okay.
Understand? There are always fluctuations, and sometimes because of the type of mental beings and analytical beings you have created yourselves to be, not always are you given a literal interpretation of what it is that you need to manifest. Sometimes the vision that you're seeing is symbolic, but the essence of it can manifest in another way. You follow me?
Okay.
It does not always have to be taken literally. Take it for its essence, knowing that whatever it is that does happen will be the most perfect version of it that needs to happen at that moment, to give you the opportunity to examine the things you need to examine so that you can create more preference in your life and more precision in your life next time. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Does that assist you?
Yeah. Can I ask one more quick thing? What's the symbolic meaning of the red cardinal?
Repeat that.
The meaning of the red cardinal. I've now seen 2 visions of a red cardinal.
One moment. How's your love life?
Is that what that means?
To some degree, it is a messenger of physiological and emotional relationships and interconnectedness. It is delivering certain symbolic reflections and messages from yourself to yourself. They are, to some degree, like love letters in that sense. It is not our jurisdiction to go into this further. You already have all the assistance you need in your dream state with your own guides.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sharing.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I've read a book that, within the last couple of years that...
Did it take you 2 years to read it?
Well, I keep going back to it.
Oh, all right.
Finding out more.
All right.
Explains to my satisfaction the changes going on with the Earth.
Oh, all right.
And our climate.
Yes.
And I want to get a comment from you as to the accuracy of this theory.
Always. Our primary opinion with regard to any of the physiological changes that may be taking place upon your planet is the following. There are many probable ways to experience it, both positive and negative. Whatever vibration you are will determine the way you go through the transformations. Changes there will be, but they can be experienced in a positive and or a negative way. The way you experience it is completely up to the vibration you choose to be and what you choose to buy into as being necessary for your transformation. Trial by fire, some people will think, is the only way they can change. Others will understand that ecstasy is their birthright, and they will allow the transformation to take place around them in a way that does not harm them personally. You follow me?
Yes, well, this explains it in a cyclic way that apparently has...
It is all psychic.
Cyclic.
And cyclic. It is all cyclic and psychic. Yes, there are cycles that occur within your psychic manifestations, within your vibrational, shall we say, repetitiveness, within the overlaps that your society goes through in playing some scenarios over and over again from a different perspective. There are cycles to it, but that doesn't really matter. You will experience whatever you deem is necessary to be experienced by your consciousness. But do continue. I do not mean to interrupt you.
Well, since we've been taking carbon dioxide measurements since 1940 in the near Hawaii, the carbon dioxide level has skyrocketed from about 4% to somewhere around 22 to 25%.
We understand.
And
this is still not in your terms irreversible.
Well, according to the book, it's approaching.
This is still in your terms not irreversible.
Okay.
That is our book.
Okay.
Choose which one you wish to buy into.
Okay. What he says is causing this is the minerals leaching out of the Earth's soils due to the constant raining, and that the Earth basically remineralizes itself through the process of glaciation approximately every 100,000 years.
There are many, many factors being left out. It is not so much that particular idea, no. That is a small factor, but not a major one.
So what is contributing to the carbon dioxide buildup?
Most of it has to do with the transformation of certain particles in what you call your upper atmosphere. Transformation of certain particles as they take place within now the idea of what you would call vegetation. That is not necessarily allowing them to put out the abundance of oxygen that they formerly would have.
Well, he says it's because they don't have minerals to grow. The plant life does not have minerals to grow the way it should in order to burn up the carbon dioxide and produce oxygen.
It is not so much that they lack the minerals in the ground. There are certain radiations that are now coming through your atmosphere that do not allow them to process the minerals adequately. That is the major factor.
Okay, how can you suggest that we can turn this around?
First of all, once again, by allowing yourself, if you wish, the strongest way to turn it around, to understand that all of the energy that you need is available in the electromagnetic field of your planet, and to cease using the types of technology that you use.
Fossil fuels?
Yes.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah, I do, but it just really made a lot of sense to me that the Earth needs to replenish itself.
In a sense, yes. But it still has to do with what it is you're doing upon the surface. It is still reversible, but it is up to you.
So how's that going to coincide with our phase shifting and expanding consciousness?
Because the Earth, as a conscious entity, just like anything else, is going through the shift with you. And in a sense, it is sending ripples of energy through itself to allow itself to transform into the type of world that it really needs to be to function on its highest level. Individuals that are aligned with that will flow with it. Individuals that are resistant to that will create the resistance and the destruction in their reality. Whatever vibration you are will determine the type of Earth that you experience. Understand that when you see the Earth change around you, it is because you have changed your vibration and, shall we say colloquially, transported yourself to one of the infinitely variable Earths that exists that is more aligned with the vibration you choose to be. Understand? An infinite number of Earths already exist. If you know that there is a version that you prefer, be a person from that Earth and live that way, and you will start seeing the changes occur around you. But of course that means you have to do your part as well. But it is still, in your terms, quote-unquote, reversible. Because you can simply take yourself to the Earth wherein those conditions do not exist. Miracles, what you call miracles, remember, are not the exception to the rule. They are the natural order of things. Understand?
Well, moving mountains?
Absolutely. They are only in your mind anyway. You are sustaining, in that sense, the physiological representation of what you call your planet. Your planet's mass, in a sense, is the product of the combination of your mass consciousness. Your physical reality is utterly the product of what you believe it to be. Sweeten it with your own thoughts, and it shall be so. Sweeten it with your own direct intentions and actions, and it will change. But primarily what you actually will see is that you have changed, and you will get the echo and the reflection of the change within you reflected in the physiological environment around you. All right?
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. After all, it's your planet. Sharing!
Hi.
One moment. In some other times, when there is more time for what you would call detail, we will discuss, not that your world is not capable of coming up with its own ideas, not that it hasn't. We will discuss what you might call a few more pragmatic ways in which it could learn to create devices in which it could learn to tap into energies that will allow you to understand you don't have to rely upon the technology you rely upon now. But that will be at another time. We have already to some degree discussed this a few times off and on, but now is not the timing. Deal with the idea we have already talked about in that it comes from your consciousness first, because all physical reality stems from there first. And then we will discuss the details later on, after you have allowed a few more ideas to fall into the proper niches. Yes, continue.
I'd like to talk to you about excitement and activity.
Oh, all right. Then let's get excited about talking about excitement.
I'm very excited.
I'm very excited.
I'm not sure I understand what you really mean by being excited.
I do not mean that you have to jump up and down all over the place, no. I am talking about the vibration that allows you to know that you are doing the thing that is truly you. The thing that allows you to feel most at home, at peace. The thing that really moves you. The thing that when you do it is no effort at all. The thing that when you do it gets things done automatically.
Great.
That.
Okay, let's say that the things that excite me are, let's say, playing.
Yes. Playing
being childlike.
What? Yes. With what?
Frisbee or tennis or swimming, things like that.
Yes.
But they don't necessarily pay the rent.
Why not? Why not? What limitations in your belief system says that those things, if they really are the things that really excite you more than anything else, what is the limitation within your belief system that says that those things cannot pay your rent?
The fact that they haven't so far.
So what? What has the past got to do with who you want to be now? You have had the kind of past you have had to determine for yourself whether you prefer that kind of a reality or not. Now that you know you don't prefer it, why assume that anything that happened then has anything to do with who you are now?
Okay, so do you think that
yes,
I can make money by doing the things that I like to do?
Yes, I do, but it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think. Can you, let's be creative, let's use your imagination, can you give me one reason why you can't make a living doing what excites you? Give me a reason.
Because they give nobody benefits. Because
what?
I'm not really contributing energy to society. I'm just doing what feels good for myself. So therefore,
where did you learn that definition? Where did you pick that up on the way?
Somewhere along the line.
Somewhere along the way. Does it have to be true?
No.
Can you imagine a scenario where you are doing the thing that excites you the most and it is being of benefit to someone aside from yourself? Can you imagine? Can you in any way, shape, or form concoct such a scenario?
Yes.
Describe it. Paint me a picture. Go on.
Okay, I'm playing with other people.
Yes.
And we're all excited.
Yes.
And I'm making money doing it.
Why?
Because I'm helping these people.
To do?
To do the things that they like to do and to help them get in better health and happier.
So you are saying that you are capable of imagining that there are other people in existence who feel that what you have to offer will be something worth supporting in order to get the benefits of it, that they really want that, and that you can realize that what you have to share is truly equal to what it is they want to get out of it, that you don't have to think anything less of it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but along with the fact that I have some talents that can help people get healthy.
Yes.
And but playing and being healthy, they sort of hold hands with each other.
Sort of hold hands? In a sense, they are one and the same thing.
Yes.
And
so my talents are...
let me ask you a question. May I interrupt you?
Please do.
Are you aware of even one other person on your planet that plays and gets paid for it?
No, I don't.
You're not aware of any one person that, in a sense, plays and gets paid for it?
Oh, Mick Jagger? I mean,
all right. Anyone else?
Well, you mean the plays the things that I like to play, or in general?
In general, anything at all.
Oh,
in other words, are you aware of anyone who is doing something they consider play and getting paid for it?
Yeah.
How many people?
A lot of people. All the musicians.
Yes.
People. Photographers.
All right.
There's a lot of people that do the things they like to do.
Yes.
And get paid for it. But it's just that.
But
I haven't found the things that I like to do that I have gotten paid
so
for.
you are saying that for some reason you believe that the thing that really motivates you, the thing you're all about, somehow doesn't count, doesn't fit in the universe. That you have been supplied by creation with something that excites you that is of no benefit to anyone. Why would the universe do something so pointless?
Well, they just haven't paid me for it.
That's because you don't believe you're worthy of getting paid for it, do you? You don't believe it's a worthy calling, do you?
Well, I do, but they...
When you say, well, I do, but they, it's the same echo. It's one event. If you believe it's worthy, it's worthy. It's going to be worthy to whoever else needs it, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Then why do you care if certain individuals don't find it worthy if they're not the ones who need it? All the individuals that you care about are the ones that want it. They're the only ones that have to find it worthy. Understand?
Yeah.
Let more of them into your life by assuming that there are enough of them out there. By assuming that whatever it is that motivates you belongs in the world. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist. For every individual that has a desire to express a certain thing above and beyond anything else, there is always, always, always an audience large enough to support them. Otherwise, it would be a pointless creation that is one-sided, and they don't exist. Understand?
Yes.
All you have to do is allow your audience to find you by ceasing to downgrade what it is you have to offer.
Okay.
By knowing it can support you, otherwise you wouldn't have the talent. The fact that you have the talent, the fact that it is the most exciting thing for you, is all the signal you need to know that the audience is there to support you. And remember, abundance is the ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it. It doesn't always have to be in the form of money. It can be. And that is one very valid way. But as long as you have the ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it, on whatever expanded level you really want to do it, allow abundance to come to you in whatever way is the path of least resistance. Then you will have it all.
Right.
Understand?
Yes.
So, yes?
You once... I listened to a tape of yours of future memory.
Yes.
And you suggested painting a scenario in which you would like to exist in.
Yes.
So, do you suggest that's what I do as far as me doing what I want to do and getting paid for it and having everything the way...
Does it excite you to do it that way? Why did you find yourself attracted to that particular suggestion more than any other suggestion? Could your imagination be telling you something? Why is it that you will not allow the obvious to be so?
Because I trust in my doubts.
Because you trust in the reality you don't prefer more than the one you do. Why? By definition, if you prefer another reality, why would you want to trust in the one you don't prefer in more?
It's a good question.
Oh, thank you. I'll let you think about it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have fun. Shedding.
Good evening, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm very, very pleased to meet you.
Why, you as well. Do be bold. Speak up in a manner that all can share.
All right. About 5 months ago,
Yes.
I purchased a magnetic sleep system.
Magnetic sleep system.
Yes,
All
which
right.
excited me very much.
All right.
Upon bringing it home, however,
Yes.
I found that my boyfriend, whom I love and respect very much,
Yes.
had a very negative attitude toward it.
Oh, all right.
So much so
Yes.
that he wouldn't even discuss it.
Oh, all right.
Much less sleep in the same bed that it was on.
All right. How exciting.
It was.
I can see that your relationship never runs out of things to discuss.
That is very true about my relationship, yes.
All right. And so, what do you want to do about that?
Well, I would like to be able to sleep on it.
Oh, well,
and
all right,
I would
go
like
ahead.
him to like that too.
Is it something that you must sleep on all the time?
I'm using it temporarily right now for meditation.
Oh, all right.
However, it's best used when it is slept on all the time.
Oh, if you say so.
And it gives me a wonderful feeling when I'm on it.
Oh, all right. Have you initiated a conversation in any way, shape, or form as to why the other individual finds this so apprehensive?
Yes.
And?
He said because his energy patterns are such
Yes.
that the magnetism gives him negative feelings.
Oh, all
and
right.
that when I even just have the pillow on the bed,
Yes.
that in the few times that we've tried that,
Yes.
that he gets a headache from it.
Oh, all right. I'll ask you a question.
Yes.
Why not make it a project for the two of you to figure out a configuration to this magnetic equipment that would work for both of you?
Well, we could try that. Right now, he doesn't even want to discuss it.
Oh, all right. Is he willing to discuss why he believes it creates a negative effect within him?
No.
Oh, all right.
I guess that means that there's more conversation that way.
Perhaps. Anything an individual refuses to face, is usually an indication that that's exactly what they ought to be talking about.
I agree.
All right. But if you really love that individual unconditionally, you will allow that individual their own good timing. Understand?
Yes.
If you are doing what you are doing out of your own integrity, and you're not just doing it out of spite or out of stubbornness, then it would be simply our suggestion that you continue to do so and allow the other individual to decide for themselves which idea, which reality they prefer more, and if they can allow the reality they prefer to override the reality that they don't. Understand?
Yes, I do understand.
But I will leave it up to you.
Thank you.
To maintain your own integrity, to do what you know is right for you, at the same time being responsible to that other individual by being the full individual you possibly can be, and being unconditionally loving enough to allow them their own space and their own timing to come to whatever conclusions they need to come to.
All right. That's what I have been doing.
All right.
I just thought I'd check and see if there was anything else I could do.
One moment. Do they have a particular affinity for any particular type of flower?
Not any particular kind I can think of. Perhaps roses.
Ask the individual if there is any particular type of what you would call aromatic combination of herbs and or flowers that they particularly like. If not, perhaps have them find one. If you take that aroma, perhaps in the form of what you call a sachet, and you fill what you call a pure cotton lining, stitch it up, sew it up in a quilt fashion, this sachet within a quilt of pure cotton, or some other natural fiber perhaps, in that sense plant-like, not animal, plant-like, not wool, then laying that sachet quilt and lying on top of that may be able to filter and rebalance the energy in such a way that they will find a little bit more tolerable. All right?
All right. Thank you,
Oh,
Bashar.
thank you very much. The aroma in and of itself may also be sufficient, even if it is not sewn into a quilt. It may help balance them out. It may put them into a state of mind where they are more willing to discuss the ideas they are not willing to discuss now. Thank you. Sharing.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
My name is Sunny.
Sunny. All right.
And I like to talk about the end of our century, 1999.
1999, yes?
Yes, because there have been many predictions made that we're going to have hard times.
Were you paying attention when we were talking about that a moment ago? No?
Probably not.
Oh, all right. We talked about the idea that, yes, there are many changes taking place upon your planet. The way you experience them, the way your vibration is, will determine whether you experience them smoothly or catastrophically. There are opportunities to experience it either way. When those predictions were made, the predictors at that time, because of the patterns and the habits that your society had created itself to be, could imagine no other way for such transformational changes to occur except by occurring through disastrous and cataclysmic way. They couldn't imagine a new world being built unless the old one completely destroyed itself. That is why those predictions were voiced in the manner they were voiced in. Now you are a little more mature as a society, as a species, and you now understand that you are beginning to control your reality. You know that it is your creation. So, now you can take those predictions with what you call a grain or a pound of salt, if you want to, and you can understand that they are simply an offering, an opportunity to decide for yourself whether you wish to buy into the fear that goes along with transformation, or whether you wish to buy into the joy that goes along with it. No matter what occurs on your planet, if you are of a vibration that knows you do not need to shake yourself awake, And if you are willing to wake up now, then you will not be in any way, shape, or form in any location that experiences the transformation negatively. You understand?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Does help. It helps, but could I be a little more specific?
Yes.
Okay. Nostradamus said...
Yes.
Well, Edgar Cayce too.
Yes.
Okay, he said 1999.
Yes.
7 months.
Yes.
The king of fire.
Yes.
Gonna come upon us.
Stop. Once again, understand, all you are doing is forming an interpretation of the energy of the shift. The very same way that the individual you are saying made the prediction formed an interpretation. Let me tell you something about prediction. There is no such thing as a prediction of the future. There are sensings of the energy that exists at the time the prediction is made. All predictions are predictions of sensings of the energy in the present when the prediction is made. If that energy doesn't change, the prediction comes to pass. If it does, the prediction is obsolete. If you hear a prediction and you don't particularly prefer the way the prediction has been interpreted, then your lack of willingness to accept the interpretation will in and of itself have a profound effect on changing the way that the shift itself will be felt. The prediction takes advantage. The prediction in that sense senses that a shift will probably occur. In all likelihood, that shift will occur, because there is a great deal of momentum and a great deal of timing within it, and it is unlikely that you will not experience a profound and impactful shift, even as you are starting to now upon your planet. However, always, the methodologies by which you experience such profound transformation can be positive or negative. When the original predictions were made, back in what you call Nostradamus' time, Edgar Cayce's time, the mindset of the world was very negative. It isn't as negative now as it used to be. So your energy, the willingness to know, to believe that the transformation can be experienced in a positive way rather than a negative way, that willingness to know that has already made a difference. And it will not necessarily need to be experienced as negatively as it would have been had it been experienced 50 or 100 of your years ago. You understand?
Yes.
Is this making some difference within you?
Yes. I tell you why I was a little concerned, so to speak.
Yes.
I'm an astrologer.
Yes.
So I opened up my ephemeris for 1999.
Yes.
And he said 7 months, so it takes us into August, month 8. There's going to be solar eclipse, very extreme.
Yes.
So I have written an article about examining United States chart, Soviet Union, and China.
Yes.
And everything is extremely afflicted. But I ended my article exactly what you're saying, that if we raise our consciousness and
yes.
Raising collective consciousness,
yes.
we can avoid that.
Yes.
So I just wanted your confirmation.
Absolutely. Remember, the reading you are doing, regardless of the method you use, astrology or any other tool, the reading you are doing is being made now. You are not making a reading in 1999. You are making a reading now. And the energy of now will always color the idea of the probable future. If you change the energy in the present, you will get another reading. You will interpret it in a different way. It will all of a sudden make itself obvious to you, quote unquote, how you missed this inflection before, how you interpreted that other idea differently before. You will see it in a new way. And remember, many times, the things that you call afflictions in your present state of awareness are not necessarily going to ultimately be called an affliction later on down the line after the change has been made. Understand?
Understand.
Does that help you?
It helps me. I still wanted to make a little explanation.
All right,
okay.
Little explanation.
Okay, Nostradamus said that
yes.
the king of fire.
Yes.
Now, the solar eclipse is going to be in Leo. That's a kingly size.
All right.
Sign.
Yes.
And fire is fire element.
All right. And so?
So I can see it how centuries back
yes.
he was seeing this eclipse and he was predicting according to society
Yes.
that he was living in.
Yes, but also the feeling to some degree is accurate, because the fire that is also being mentioned is the cleansing fire of your own inner light.
Good.
It will burn the world to life. Understand?
I understand.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Sharing.
Greetings, precious entity. I greet you and the
And
council.
to you as well, lovely consciousness.
My question is,
Yes.
I'm in need of an aid in which I can harmonize my bodies.
A Band-Aid? A lemonade? What kind?
If it be so.
Oh, if it be so, all right. What kind?
A way of being able to harmonize when my vibration speeds up or slows down.
Harmonize.
Yes.
Well, I think one way that we gave you was at the very, very beginning of this interaction. What did you feel when you allowed yourself to sigh? Did you feel a little more balanced?
Yes.
Did that work?
Yes.
Is it sufficient?
No.
Why not?
I need more.
Why?
I have much more energy.
Much more energy than what?
Then I feel that I can balance at times.
Why do you believe that? Why do you believe you are given something that is more than you are capable of handling at any given moment? Why would you believe that the universe is that, shall we say, cockeyed?
No, I don't believe that I was given something that I can't handle, but I do believe I've forgotten how.
Ah. What has your imagination already come up with as a methodology for handling it?
Asking you.
Not Anything else? Did it come up with no other idea?
Yes, it did.
And what was that idea?
I know that inner peace and all the steps that I need to find that are also the same things that will balance and harmonize.
All right, that's all well and good, but I have a suggestion for you now, and your last statement just opened a doorway for us.
Please.
Well, thank you very much. What do you think of the ocean? Did you understand me?
Yes. I'm trying to think of all of the things it means to me.
Oh, I'll ask you a favor.
Yes.
I would ask that you do not think about it so much. I would ask that you give me more of a gut physical reaction.
Vast, nurturing.
I see. Do you like to swim?
Yes.
Do you like standing in the ocean water?
Yes.
Up to your neck?
Yes.
Then do so. And perhaps that will be one of the things that balances you out very nicely. That type of physiological grounding. Rather than being quite so professorial about the idea of balancing energy, might I simply suggest that you get yourself a little bit more dirty? That you roll around in the ground a little bit, that you splash into the ocean, and grab great clumps of earth and sand in your hands and fling them around.
All right.
And see if that does something to balance the energy.
It does very much at every opportunity I do that.
All
if
right,
I
then.
don't have that opportunity, is there some way, or imagining
When do
doing
you
that?
not have that opportunity?
Driving on the Ventura Freeway at rush hour.
Is there another activity that would occupy you physiologically that you can do?
In what way do you mean? Many
All right, well,
activities.
I'll start you off.
Any
I'll make a
physicalness.
suggestion. The suggestion I make will not necessarily be something that you have to do, but me making this suggestion may allow you to discover another idea, simply perhaps because you will not necessarily like the suggestion I make. And so you will immediately come up with something else to avoid doing the thing that I'm talking about.
Try me.
Take a nice, big, thick piece of wood and a big, strong, sturdy nail and a big, heavy hammer and pound that nail all the way through the wood.
Most
That's
pleasurable.
very physical.
Very pleasurable, yes.
All right, you can do that.
All right.
It will have certain benefits for grounding you. You can do it as long as you wish, or as little as you wish. But know that while you're doing it, with every hammer stroke, with every centimeter that the nail goes into the wood, and with every resonant vibration that the wood gives you, you are truly building a stable foundation. Understand?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes, entity, it does. I thank you.
Much.
Thank you.
Happy sojourning. Sharing.
Hi, Bashar.
And have a good day. Good start. Precise and to the point.
I have a problem.
Oh, all right.
I've had a fear for my whole lifetime of my parents dying.
Oh, why?
And because of that, I haven't been able to move far away until this year. I was 26 and still living at home.
All right.
And I just was wondering whether or not that had to do with a past life.
It has to do with abandonment, yes.
And I was wondering if you could help me with that, because I still fear it very much. And
all right.
I'm afraid, on one hand, that when they die, I'm not going to be able to function, and on the other hand, something tells me that I won't be able to function until they die, so I'm very confused.
All right. I will consolidate this conversation to some degree by doing something that we rarely do, and this is a recommendation for an actual reading material upon your planet. It is our suggestion that you avail yourself of a particular book that exists in your society. It is called We Don't Die. And then see what you think. All right?
Okay.
Now, do you know that individuals always exist?
Yeah, I mean, I have such a fear of this, and this is going to sound very funny, but my parents, before I left, I told them, look, if you die, or if I die, let's meet someplace if we can. And so my father said, fine, I'll meet you out by the garbage can. And my mother said, she'll meet me in the garden. They have a great sense of humor.
Yes.
So that's somewhat consoling to me, but part of me must not believe it all the way, or I wouldn't still be fearing this.
Why don't you believe that they still exist?
I think I'm just going to miss their physicalness. I'm going to miss their smiles and their bodies, and I know that they will exist on the spiritual plane, but not on a. I miss physical things very badly.
Stop. Do you have a pet?
Yes, and I had to leave her back in Connecticut, and I miss her terribly.
What is the pet?
A dog. Her name is Parker.
Why had to leave?
For my career.
What career?
I sing for a living.
Why Parker not included?
Because I knew she'd be happier there, because there's a lot more room for her to run around, and they live in where there are not a lot of people and not a lot of cars, and I knew she'd be happier there.
Ah. Reverse situation. Parker is you. You are your parents. They knew upon death that if you remained, that is simply where you would be happier. You, in a sense, have died as far as Parker is concerned. Do you not know that Parker would be happier there?
No.
Why not? Are you being stubborn?
I don't think I understood what you just said.
All right. The analogy. Let us pretend that Parker is now you, and that you are your parents. You have left Parker. For all Parker knows, you're dead.
I know, that really bothers me.
But you know Parker is happy there, yes?
I don't know that for sure.
All right. That is what you said.
I know she'd be happier with the space that she has, but I know she misses me, and I miss her.
Oh, you know Parker misses you, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you a secret. I lied to you.
She doesn't miss me?
She knows you're not dead.
I know she does.
And therefore, why should she miss you?
She misses me physically.
Why?
Because
if the animal consciousness knows that physical reality is not a boundary, and Parker knows that Parker is still in touch with you, Why should Parker miss you if Parker really believes that Parker is still in touch with you? Because you are still in Parker's reality. Why should Parker miss you if you're still in Parker's reality?
I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
Well, how does it make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel better, but...
But what? But you don't want to feel better?
No, I do want to feel better. I think I'm...
Yes? Yes?
I understand what you're saying, and it's a really good point.
Oh, thank you very much.
But I do think, I really do feel she misses me, and maybe that's egotistical or something, but I feel very much strongly.
What you are feeling is yourself.
I'm missing myself.
And all you're doing is seeing a reflection from the dog whose job it is to be a guide to reflect the things that are actually going on within you. Let's say, play that the dog misses you, or act that the dog misses you, for the dog is truly nothing but an act. It is only a reflection of what you're going through, because that's what animals are, reflective guides. The dog knows beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are always going to be in its reality, but it will act like it misses you to show you that you are the one that feels like something is missing.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah, I think I understand now.
Now, how do you feel now?
Ridiculous.
Oh, congratulations! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Expand your definition of life. Nothing ever exists outside of you. And there's your answer.
Thank you.
Straight from the dog's mouth. We thank you. At this timing, we will extend once again to each and every one of you. You get your answers at all levels. Our appreciation for your co-creation of this energetic interaction, this day of your time, this moment of your creation as you create it to be. We thank you for recognizing the now moment that you are, and for creating the next now moment to be the you prefer to be. Our unconditional love, our joy, and our ecstasy, and above and beyond everything, our absolute unconditional trust and faith in you. We thank you, we bid you a fond and a loving good day and good play. How'd it go?
Great.
Thank you all very much for being here tonight.
Thank you.